Hey guys, it's JStars260 here, giving you guys my quick summary of my thoughts on Season 2 of Legend of Korra Spirits. Before I get into it, I just want to say, number one, I'm going to spoil this. Second, just go if you want. I'd highly recommend going and watching Doug Walker and Rob Walker's Legend of Korra vlogs. I'll have a link to them in the description below. They are really good. I feel like they pretty much hit the nail on the head with a lot of the stuff about this season. But I figure I might as well give my own 2 cents. I'm really mixed as to whether or not this season of Korra is better or worse than last season. Because there's a lot. Here's what I think. All the stuff they did right in Season 1, they get wrong in Season 2. And all the stuff they got wrong in Season 2, they got right in Season 1. So, for example, I feel like the story this time around is much more flowing and concise. Like, they're a bit more better in terms of keeping the plot moving and stuff. Whereas Korra, I feel like Korra kind of really took its time to get going in Season 1. This season, I feel like they got to it a bit quicker. Although, at the same time, I feel like we really didn't know what everything was about until beginnings. And I'm like, couldn't we have just trimmed this a bit more and got to beginnings a bit faster? But anyway, let me talk. So, yeah, it's kind of there. Also, any characters I really liked in Season 1, I didn't like as much in Season 2. For example, like, Season 1 had a really good villain. Amon was a great villain, the best of the series of Korra. Really good backstory, really interesting motives. And this season, our villain is just sort of evil for the sake of being evil. He's just, you know, he's kind of generic. And Avatar's always been really good about giving us really strong, really well-developed characters. And just see a generic villain here is kind of disappointing. Also, Captain Beifong doesn't really do anything this season. General Iroh doesn't do anything this season. Korra, really annoying, unlikable for the first season. Did not like that. But every character I didn't like was improved. Tenzin, Bolin was funny. Mako was more logical. Asami was, and the characters I didn't like much. And the other characters just stayed the same. Like, Asami's still alright, not really much to her. I'm curious, I think originally back when when the creators wanted this to be like 3 seasons like Avatar before Nickelodeon gave them only 12 episodes of Korra before expanding it. I'm curious if Asami was going to be added later. Kind of like Avatar and how they didn't add Toph until Season 2. Curious to know if some of these characters were like stuff that were just originally going to add later on. And Tenzin I still like, and I'm trying to think what else. Oh yeah, this season adds some really funny side characters and stuff, but here's the thing. There's a side plot in Korra, but it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't link up with the main plot. It just sort of ends, and then we get on with the main plot, which makes some of the episodes in the first half of the season really pointless, which kind of bothers me. Sorry if I'm not doing this on an outline, so sorry if I'm just rambling a bit. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So yeah, the side plots are kind of pointless, because in Avatar The Last Airbender you had the Aang Team Avatar plot, and you had the Zuko and Iroh plot. And they were kind of separate, but they were kind of intertwined. They were visiting similar locations, and in the end of the season they sort of converge and link up. Whereas this season, it's like one plot line just feels like we're giving the characters something to do because we don't want to write them out completely, but at the same time, they were in Season 1, and we want to give them something to do. And, yeah, kind of bothers me. And this season has just made me realize something. It's not the number of episodes that's giving Korra issues. It's what they're doing in the episodes that bothers me. And let's see what else. But yeah, so season, I feel like it got much better when we got to the second half of the season. Particularly beginnings, which I thought was amazing like everyone else. Then once we got to the spirit world, it got awesome. So we got some nice nods to the previous season. No, to Last Airbender. Some awesome backstory on the world of Avatar. And yeah, I mean, you could have done this in less episodes if you wanted. Let's see what else. Sorry if I'm saying a lot. I just didn't plan this out. I just want to get this done now. Let's see what else. I wasn't a big fan of the romance plot. It just seems really redundant to regress to have Mako and Korra kind of be together. Then Mako goes to Asami. Then he breaks up with her to get with Korra, only to break up with her again to get back with Asami, and then kind of go back to Korra. And now is not. I mean, I'm happy with the way Korra and Mako's relationship turned out, but it's just the back and forth of it just annoys me. And again, I think it's just the writers wrote themselves into a corner and they need to reboot everything, which brings another point. They're just chucking Season 1 out the window, it looks like, which was, for all intents and purposes, I kind of liked it. And while I kind of like this season, I would like some bit more continuity. I mean, Last Airbender, there was a story. There was an overarching story. Here, it's just, I'm not really sure where they're going. I mean, with The Last Airbender, there was an obvious end game. Here, it's just sort of like they're just doing whatever. Again, maybe now that they've just gotten past Season 2, hopefully Season 3 we can be really good and on par with Last Airbender. But yeah. So, Season 1, in short, there's stuff that's really good in Season 1, but not as good as in Season 2. There's stuff that's not so good in Season 1, but better in Season 2. Like Season 1, I think Season 2 is slightly better, because again, like Season 1, it gets better in the second half of the season. Plus, it has beginnings. Plus, they don't rush the ending this time. Again, I'm not saying Season one's better than the other. They both have stuff the other doesn't, but I think Season 2 might be slightly better. Again, because of beginnings and because of the lack of that rushed ending. And hopefully it'll lead to some awesome stuff. Because again, this season's been a really mixed bag. But again, at the end of the day, I'm glad I saw it. There was some really good stuff, particularly in the second half, that made it worth watching. And yeah, I'd recommend, it's worth checking out if you're a fan of Avatar. I mean, hang in there with those bad episodes. It does get better. It does get more interesting, especially with beginnings and when we get to the spirit stuff. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to Season 3. When and if a trailer comes out for it, I don't know if I'll do a review on it, because I mean, it's just going to be a bunch of random clips. But yeah, so when Korra Season 3 comes out, I'll be sure to vlog about it. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. This is JStars360 signing out. I'll see you guys tomorrow when I do my vlogs on the Clone Wars. Bye.